Hey, if they're legal warriors, no, the police officer is not going to ask you for money. No, the federal marshal is not going to say, give us some money so your loved one can be on home detention. And no, that parent of the supposed victim is not going to work with the police to have you pay them restitution to avoid a criminal charge. There's a lot going on out there. There's a lot of people being taken advantage of, and I'm going to explain it all in this video. So if you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 25 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. I'm just going to jump right into it. There are a lot of scams out there where people that are in a bad situation are getting contacted and being asked to pay money to help their loved ones, or asked to pay money because they've been trapped in some type of plan by a scammer. And I ran into a new one this weekend that I want to cover in this video. Then I'm going to go through a couple of others that I may have talked about in the past and get into some more details. But there's 3 rules, okay? The police don't ask for money. The federal marshals don't ask for money. And victims and parents of victims, supposed victims, they don't work with the police to ask for money, so you personally can avoid being charged with a crime. So the general consensus is if someone is asking for money and they've contacted you out of the blue or in some way, and they're threatening something to you if you don't pay this money, or they're offering a benefit to a loved one if you pay this money, almost always it is a scam. And to make sure, you should contact a local attorney that you look up on your own, because they're going to know, especially if they've done this for a while. But what did I run into this weekend? Well, I was sitting in my local town, having, believe it or not, a crumpet. And there's a crumpet in Seattle. It sounds terrible. But and I was having my coffee, and I was waiting for my schnauzers to show up, and so we go take the dog for a walk. And I got a text. And the text was something along the lines of, hey, my kid is in jail, and I just got contacted by a federal marshal from the jailer's place, and they say that if we pay this much money, that my kid can be put on home detention, and now my kid can be released from jail. And of course, I get this message, and I instantly knew this was a scam because, first of all, federal marshals aren't involved in local jails. Number 2, I know that court wasn't going to be a while in the future. And number 3, I know there is no such program. That's absolutely ridiculous. And happily, the people that reached out to me had already let them know that they had talked to an attorney. And as soon as they said those magic words, the person hung up. Okay, but it's the second time I've heard of that happening over the last month. And then I got a hold of a bonding agent. I said, hey, dear bonding agent who works with us, this just happened to some people I know. And she goes, yes, that's happening all the time now. And lots of people are getting scammed for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And once you pay that money, you're not getting it back. So if you have somebody in jail and someone is asking for money out of the blue for some program, that is almost certainly a scam. But how is money involved in jail? Well, the court typically may set a bail, right, for someone to get released if they post money through a bonding company or cash bail. But in that case, you're going to be able to see it on the computer. You're going to know what it is. And no bonding company is going to reach out to you. No one's going to reach out to you asking for money. And what these scammers typically do is they're going to look at the jail register, and then they're going to start putting those names through their background search companies. Like I have a service where I can put a name in, and I can see all the people that are related to that person. And it's pretty easy to pick out who a parent is. Then you search that person's name, and you find a phone number. You call, you hit jackpot, they answer. Now you can just pretend whoever you want to be. And don't fall for the number spoofing, right? So many times the number will look like it's coming from a legitimate caller ID because they can use some type of spoofing software to make it look like it's coming from the jail or make it look like it's coming from the police. And that's that extra layer of sophistication that these scammers are doing. So in this scam, your loved one's in jail and someone's contacting you out of the blue saying, hey, pay this, and they can get out of jail. That's just not legitimate. What are some of the other scams we see where people ask for money, things you need to avoid? Well, the most common one is the victim of this supposed scam or this alleged scam is, been doing some dating online, and they get some unsolicited naughty photos from someone who is supposedly more than 18, and is probably just a stock photo the scammers found online. And then they get contacted by either a parent wanting money, or you're going to be turned into the police, or they get contacted by the police and say, hey, we're going to pick you up right now. We're going to put you in jail unless you pay the parents X, Y, or Z. Of course, it's ridiculous, right, to think that would actually be a fact pattern, but not if you're not sophisticated, not if you're not involved in the system, and not if you're afraid that something bad's going to happen to you. Sometimes they'll threaten to expose you to other people and embarrass you with photos, stuff like that. Sometimes it's just, hey, you're going to go get arrested. So how deep does the sophistication of the scam go? I've seen cases where the claim is, hey, the parent finds out that their supposed kid tried to self-harm, and now I've got my kid in counseling, and here's an actual counselor's bill, right? And I've seen cases where they scam someone out of money for weeks and weeks at a time. Here's the next bill, and here's the next bill. And at some point, when people begin to run out of money, then they go, now what do I do, right? Sometimes we get a call to say, hey, I'm out of money. Now what do I do? And then I go, well, you shouldn't do anything because it's a scam. So that's another level of sophistication. I think the final one that we see is jury duty type stuff, right? Hey, you get a call that you missed jury duty and we're going to arrest you unless you pay this penalty. And I don't know if these scammers have like a list and somehow of who is supposed to be on jury duty, but they might just be calling cold people. We've seen that happen. And if you happen to have missed a jury duty, or you're really gullible and think you might have, and you're afraid of being in trouble, you might end up paying that money. There's just no such thing. There's no pay a fine, at least not in Washington State, because you missed jury duty. No one's going to come get somebody for missing jury duty. The worst thing that happens is you're just going to get resummons. So those are things I want you to watch out for. What's the common denominator? If someone's asking you to pay money and they're contacting you, that's a scam. Almost always that's a scam. Contact an attorney, who's local. If you're in Washington State, we'll probably know about it because we're pretty large. But just think before you act, and if you're being threatened, if it's too good to be true, if it doesn't make sense, well, we know it's not true. So if you found this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it, more people get the help they need, and more importantly, if you got a criminal matter in Washington State, feel free to reach out to our firm. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.